Hi, my name is Sam, and I am a pansexual cis female. But this is not what we're here to talk about. Today I'm here to talk about what is going on in the world. And I would like to start out with the fact that I'm very bad at articulating my words. If I say something incorrect, please correct me. I'm a very small person with a tiny platform, but if there's some odd chance this video gets out for more people to see, I hope that in some way, shape, or form it helps. I would like to start out with saying that in the description below you will find links to all the places that you can donate. It has it broken down by state for bailout funds. People need help right now. They're doing what's right in the world by protesting against an unjust system and an unfair system and a grotesque system, and they're getting punished for it. And don't you think that if we just punish those who did wrong, the cops who were bad cops, that we wouldn't be in this situation? Humans. We are all humans. Humans are the same on the inside. If you peel away our skin, you're gonna find the same amount of bones in every single human. You will find a circular system. You will find a heart that pumps the blood through our body, that keeps us alive and keeps our lungs inflated so that we can breathe. If you peel back our skin, how would you know me from anybody else? I don't know what they have to deal with on a daily. I have children, and yes, I have fears for them when they leave my front doors, but I do not fear that the people who are supposed to protect them are going to murder them in the streets simply because they can't differentiate. You realize that when you walk up to somebody who has a darker skin pigment and accuse them of committing a crime that somebody else committed because you cannot tell them apart? That is disgusting. Because tell me, officer, would you walk up to a white person and go, "Oh, sorry, you looked like somebody else because of your skin color"? I am participating in Blackout Tuesday not to silence the voices of those who need to be heard, but to give them a platform, the space to be heard. I am still speaking out and spreading information on the situation that is going on. The fact that there is voting that is opening. Go register to vote so that you can use your voice to speak out, not only in the streets but in the polls as well, because that will help. Not as much as it should, unfortunately, and I'm not dumb to that fact, as uneducated as I might be on this topic, and I do not claim to be educated on this topic. I have been watching numerous different sources of what is happening in the streets, and it scares me. And it scares me for the protesters that have families to go home to. Daughters and sons and nieces and nephews and mothers and fathers. That is somebody's baby that you are hitting with a rubber bullet or spraying with your pepper guns. I am not sure of how much of what I'm going to say during this recording is going to end up in my video, because I want to make sure that I am saying the right thing, but it's so hard to know how to say the right thing when I don't know what it feels like to fear for my life every time I leave my house. The police system is saying, "Go home, it's curfew," and then they are surrounding the groups of protesters and attacking them violently. How can you expect somebody to go home if you will not let them by? Is that a silly question? Here, I'd like you to leave this room, but I'm going to lock the door and you don't get the key. But please leave. Please leave, or I'm going to violently attack you. And the officers out there who are not getting charged with macing children. Children! And then I see people who are saying, well, the children should not be out there. When we peacefully protest, why should a child not be out there? Because it's their future. Their future. And I am so sick of hearing all lives matter. Yes, all lives matter. But all lives don't matter until Black Lives Matter. If you sit there and scream, all lives matter, but yet you are not standing up for those that are getting attacked and hurt right now and murdered in the streets, how can you say that all lives matter when their lives don't? I also recently had a conversation about the fact that when you stay silent, when you don't use your voice, when you don't use your white privilege to speak up against something unjust, what does that say about you? You might not agree with the way that Black people are being treated. You might not agree with what's happening in the world right now, but you are not helping the situation if you're not speaking up. I had a conversation recently with somebody about how with the COVID-19 that by forcing us to wear masks they're taking our rights away, but what rights do we really have? This is not the land of the free. This has never been the land of the free, because if it was the land of the free we wouldn't have come in, and the first thing we did, take rights away from people who were already here. Where was their freedom? The people who inhabited here first, who helped teach us the way of the land. And then you take away that land and you lock them away in places where they struggle to survive. Where was their freedom? And why do they have to lose their freedom for us to get ours? But then I circle back again and go, what freedom? What rights? Do not forget their names. This is not just a fit over somebody who died unjustly. These are screams for change. And obviously asking nicely did us no good. How did switching lanes with no turn signal turn into all this? I don't have a gun. Stop shooting! What are you following me for? Why did you shoot me? Please don't let me die. I can't breathe. If you're going to sit here and tell me that all lives matter, I want to ask you this. What if it was your child? And don't you dare tell me, oh, that wouldn't happen. Oh, I wouldn't let that happen. Because you can't control what happens. You can't be there 24/7. You can't always be there to protect. And if it was your child, would you want the person responsible to take no blame, to have no guilt, to walk away free and still get a pension check and an exit bonus, or maybe have a desk job where they still have some sway over those that are still walking the streets? No, you wouldn't. You would fight for justice, and this is what these people are doing. They are fighting for justice for their children and their sisters and their brothers and their parent, just like you would if it was your child or your parent or your sister or your brother. The way the world is going, if we don't start standing in line, they're going to start killing us all. They want a dictatorship, and that's going to include everybody who wants to step out of line, and we have to stop that now. If we don't start fighting back against the system, we're going to end up in a dictatorship, and it's going to be them against us. And if we don't fall into line, it's not going to matter who we are. It's going to be everybody that suffers. So we need to stand up now. We need to use our voices, and those of us who have privilege need to use that privilege to stand up and say something. Whether it be standing shoulder to shoulder with all of the protesters that are walking the streets, donating money if you have the funds to be able to do it, speaking out, sharing information, going to the polls and voting and signing petitions for change. Because while we can scream on the outside, we have to be able to break down those doors, because we have to break our system from the inside out. And getting people in the polls to vote for those who are willing to make the big changes we need to see is going to help tremendously. You can't make change coming at something from one direction. You have to come from it from all sides. If I've misspoken in any way, please educate me. Let me know. Don't be rude about it. I'm trying the best I can to say what I feel that needs to be said. And like I said before, I will be posting links. I will post links for petitions. I will post links for places you can donate. I will post a link for a college course so that you can get yourself more educated. These are dates of voting once again. And if you made it this far, thank you. Thank you for listening. We are all human. We all deserve equality. And until that happens, all lives don't matter. I stand with you.